Seniors, the best golf of your life starts right now with this video. If you're over 50, the secret to better golf isn't swinging harder, it's swinging smarter. Of course, everyone's body changes over the years, and that's okay. So in this video, I'm going to give you some super simple and repeatable motions, along with some strategies that'll fit your body and make your swing feel effortless while helping you hit it pure and shaving strokes off your score. And it all starts with the forward press, so let's dive in. In today's video, I'm going to give you a super simple yet very powerful technique that you'll want to do before you even start your backswing. It's actually one of the most effective techniques that was taught to me years ago that will help smooth out your backswing and put your swing into a nice and smooth rhythm. So if your backswing feels choppy or inconsistent, stick with me because I'm going to share a very simple technique that really any golfer can use. So let's get right into the content. A while back, I posted a video on my YouTube channel that talks about setting your hands forward at the address position. That video got almost 38,000 views since it was first published. People really loved it. Check it out if you haven't seen it yet. I'll link it here for you. That video is really about helping you get into a nice setup position and how to start your backswing. But one thing that really isn't that clear that I wanted to make sure that I talked about is that quick forward press that you probably saw, but maybe you didn't notice it. It's really important. I talked about how you can be even with the ball at address, or if you want to put your hands slightly ahead of the ball, even better. But either way, with whatever position that you choose, one thing that you'll want to definitely do is make that small press forward. Now, take a look at the real-time video I'm showing you on the screen. I'm going to play a real-time video and then I'll slow it down a bit to talk about what I'm referring to. Did you see that? Did you see that quick press of the hands forward? Well, it's actually really important. That quick press of the hands forward is what helps set your club into a forward press position, and it helps initiate your swing. It's so subtle and quick that it's hard to even notice. It happens in the blink of an eye. It's the quick move of the hands forward into the forward press position, which helps start the swing and puts it into motion and ultimately in rhythm. That slightest bit of a second allows you a moment to just feel your hands, to feel your weight distribution, to feel your arms all working together, to feel your hands and your wrists getting into position. It gives you just a split second to adjust your swing if it didn't start absolutely perfect. And if you're like me, it doesn't start perfect all the time. But that move puts the upper body and your arms into motion, and it helps set that rhythm of the swing. Try it out. Try a quick press forward and then back. And comment below if you want me to do a follow-up on the mistakes you want to avoid during this move. But if you've tried this and you're still struggling and need some more helpful tips, I've created a guide for you with 5 simple tips for a perfect takeaway. If you want it, it's totally free. You can download it by clicking the link below. But it gives you 5 areas to focus on during your backswing to help improve your backswing and your takeaway. And if this is your first time watching my videos, my name is Russo. I'm a scratch golfer, and I give you tips, strategies, and techniques on how to improve your game. A forward press is simply pushing your hands slightly ahead of the ball at address. And it's a small movement to engage your body and initiate the takeaway. But when done wrong or overdone, it can throw off your setup, can complicate your grip, and it can even lead to some really nasty results. But when used properly, a subtle forward press becomes the trigger to start your swing in rhythm and flow. And that's where most golfers mess up. But when used properly though, a subtle forward press becomes the perfect trigger to start your swing with rhythm and flow. And that's where most golfers mess up. And by the way, guys, if you're interested in perfecting your takeaway, I've left a free takeaway guide in the description below so that you can perfect your takeaway. Be sure to grab that before you leave. So why do most golfers need a trigger and not a static start? Well, have you ever felt frozen over the ball and felt tight before you even started your swing? Well, that's precisely why a forward press can help. Standing over the ball too long locks up your body. You start second guessing and your swing gets disconnected. A forward press adds motion. It acts like a waggle or bounce in your knees. And it's what Sam Snead called starting the motor. That little press helps synchronize your body, gets your weight subtly shifting, and makes it easier to move into your backswing with confidence and freedom. The forward press is about giving your swing a natural rhythm, and a forward press is one of the best ways to build that in. I'm curious, have you ever tried the forward press before? Leave a comment in the description below and let me know how it's worked for you. And really, the forward press, it eliminates variables. Here's a real secret. A forward press reduces the moving parts and the variables in your swing. I actually talk a lot about this in my ebook that I've linked in the description below. Most golfers struggle because their first move introduces too many variables. An inside takeaway, an early wrist hinge, a sway, or the club even gets inside too quickly. But with a forward press, you preset the shaft, the hands, and the body into a more athletic and dynamic position. This simplifies your start and helps you repeat it under pressure. It's like starting in motion, not from a dead stop. So if consistency is your goal, and let's be honest, we all want to become more consistent, the forward press is one of the easiest ways to repeat your move every time. But there's a right way to do it. So how do you do it right without screwing up your setup? Well, here's the key. Keep it subtle. A small shift of the hands forward, no more than an inch or two, and the weight softly shifting into your lead side. Don't exaggerate it. Don't lean your whole body or jam the hands way ahead. That's when you fall out of posture and change your grip. Think of it like a nudge, not a shove. And if you want some help with your setup, I've linked a free golf takeaway setup guide in the description below. Be sure to grab that so you've got a consistent setup every time. The goal is to stay in balance, feel athletic, and start your swing in motion. Practice it on the range with wedges and short irons first, then build it into your routine for every club. And if you're trying to get more consistent and feel more confident over the ball, this small move can make a huge difference. Try the forward press next time that you're at the range. Keep it subtle. It's a smooth and intentional move. You'll feel the difference right away. And if you'd like this video, be sure to like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. It helps me grow the channel. And now that you know this forward press technique, let's talk about one of the fundamentals of a great golf swing, and that's having the proper grip. Hey everyone, in today's video, I'm gonna give you a couple of extremely helpful tips on how to improve your grip so you can hit more consistent shots. The grip is actually one of the most important pieces of the golf swing, so you definitely don't wanna miss what I'm about to share. If you don't have a proper grip, you're likely gonna struggle with accuracy, with consistency, and even proper club rotation. What I'm about to share are tips that can be used with any of your clubs and with the majority of your shots. So stick with me and let's get right into the content. And if this is your first video, my name is Mario. I'm a scratch golfer and I give you tips, strategies, and techniques on how to improve your golf game. So I think it's important to understand why we're doing this in the first place. You need to understand natural tendencies of your arm rotation to understand how to grip the club properly. You might be asking, like, what do you mean? Well, let me explain. Well, depending on the starting position of your arms and your hands at address, your results can vary greatly. So for demonstration purposes, I'm gonna imagine that you're gripping the club. This is what I see a lot of golfers doing, which means you have somewhat of a strong grip where your right hand is too far on the right side of your club. This isn't a bad grip, but it's just not ideal for a straight shot. Now, let's bring the club back as if we're taking the club away. Now, when I stop the video, notice how the natural tendency of the hand, specifically the top of the hand, is to curl upwards as the arm goes back. Well, when that curl happens, the club face is actually closing on the way back. And when the club face closes, now you're more likely to hit a draw or a hook. You can make the best takeaway of your life, one that you think is, perfectly on path and in line and in rhythm with how you want to swing. But the truth is that the laws of physics are kind of working against you at this point. And on the flip side of that, now let's take a look at what happens when your hand is too far over on the top of your club as you start your swing. This would mean that you have a weak grip. So let's bring your hand back along the takeaway and notice how the tendency of the hand in this position is for the bottom of the wrist to expose itself. The bottom of the wrist curls under and up. Well, now the club face is open on the way back. And now your tendency is likely going to be to come through impact with an open face, and you're likely going to either slice or fade the ball. So with these two back swings, I essentially made the same motion backwards, but I found myself in two very different positions. Look at how different these positions are when I compare the two. And all of it is really a direct result of how I started gripping the club from the address position. So here's what I would suggest you do for more consistency. Focus on ensuring that the creases that your thumb and your index fingers make are pointed towards the center of your chest. If they're pointed towards your right shoulder, that works too. Just make sure that they're not pointed outside of your right shoulder. In this position, you won't be too weak or too strong, and it'll allow for a proper club rotation on the way back. One other thing you might want to avoid is gripping the club too much in the palm of your hands, like I have on the screen. That takes away from the ability to manipulate and maneuver the club easily on the way back. I would also focus on making sure that you do the interlock grip. There's a couple of different grip techniques out there, like the interlock and the overlap grip. I've always personally been a big fan of the interlock grip because I think it just gives you a more granular level of control compared to the overlap grip. And lastly, I would suggest that you grab my free PDF that I've attached for you here. It's a 10-step guide called Grip It Like a Pro, and it has step-by-step instructions along with pictures that you can reference at each step along the way on how to grip the club properly with the interlock grip for more consistent results. What I've shared today is really just the first step of many, and there's a lot more to learn and explore around the grip. And now that you've learned about the importance of having a proper grip, let's go into 3 simple backswing tips to help your backswing feel effortless. Ever feel like your golf swing is rushed or out of sync? One of the biggest secrets to a smooth, powerful swing is starting low and slow and keeping that lead arm straight on the way back. So today I'm gonna give you 3 simple tips on an easier way to swing the golf club that makes it feel effortless and delivers consistent contact without overthinking every move. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm Mario. I'm a scratch golfer, and here on YouTube, I give you tips, strategies, and techniques on how to improve your game. So let's first talk about one of the fundamentals of a great backswing, and that's keeping your left arm straight. A straight lead arm creates width and consistency, setting you up for a powerful shot. So here's how to make that happen. First and foremost, you don't want to lock your arms. You want to think of stretching them and not being too stiff. Secondly, you want to rotate from the shoulders. Let the shoulders turn under your chin so the arm stays extended naturally. And lastly, think about checking halfway back. Stop halfway back and see if your left arm is still long and extended like you're seeing in the video. And to make this even easier, I've actually put together a free takeaway guide in the description box below. It gives you 5 simple tips that you can immediately apply to help you nail your takeaway. Be sure to grab that before you leave. All right, tip number 2, you want to focus on going low and slow in the takeaway. Starting the club back low to the ground and at a smooth tempo sets the rhythm for the entire swing. So this gets you off to a really good start. So focus on feeling the club head staying close to the turf for the first foot or 2 of your backswing. You can even count 1/1000. Give yourself that low start and it keeps everything connected. And don't rush with the wrists. Let the club naturally hinge after the first foot or 2 or 3 of your backswing. I actually did a separate video on this specific topic. I'll link it here if you'd like to check it out. That low and slow builds coil and power while keeping you on plane. It's one of the easiest ways to eliminate that quick, jerky start that throws off your entire sequence. All right, tip number 3. But before I go into it, if you like this video, do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button, because when you do, it helps me grow the channel, but it also helps me create even better content for you to help you improve your game. And don't forget to leave me a comment in the description box below. Let me know what you're struggling with. I read every comment and I'll try to create content around those areas. All right, tip number 3, focus on finishing that turn. Make sure that you complete your shoulder turn on the way back. Many golfers just stop rotating too soon, and that often can lead to short, steep swings with inconsistent contact. So to fix that, focus on getting that lead shoulder under your chin before you transition like you're seeing in the video. And keep a smooth tempo. Let the backswing flow naturally. Don't force it. Good golf is about playing in rhythm, so focus on having a smooth tempo. When you finish your turn fully, you'll create natural power and a better path back to the ball. As a quick reminder, be sure to grab my free takeaway guide in the description box below. It's a totally free step-by-step resource that you can print off and take with you next time that you're playing. So to summarize, an easier, more powerful swing starts with a straight lead arm, a low and slow takeaway, and a full shoulder turn. Focus on these one at a time and you'll swing the club way more smoothly and you'll start hitting the ball a lot better. Now in this next section, let's talk about a simple adjustment that you can make so hitting your irons and your driver becomes really easy. What if I told you there's just one adjustment that can make hitting your irons and your driver really easy? In this video, I'm going to show you the key setup and swing move that simplifies your entire swing and helps you hit piercing irons and powerful drives. If you've ever felt confused switching between clubs, this is the missing link, so let's dive in. And if this is your first time, welcome. I'm Mario. I'm a scratch golfer and I give you tips, strategies, and techniques on how to improve your golf game. So your setup is everything. Before we even talk about swing plane, shoulder turn, or your takeaway, you've got to nail your setup. This is the foundation that either sets you up for success or puts a ceiling on your potential. So let's break it down. And by the way, guys, I've left a free golf swing setup checklist down in the description below. Be sure to grab that before you leave. So with your irons, you want a setup that's more upright, the ball more center or slightly forward, depending on the club. Your weight balanced, your spine tilted slightly forward, and soft knees just slightly bent, and your hands underneath your shoulders like you're seeing in the video right now. But for a driver, it's a totally different story. The ball is forward off the lead heel, your spine tilt increases, and your trailing shoulder drops slightly. Your feet are a touch wider, and your weight starts slightly favoring your back foot. This allows your iron swing to go down and through, while your driver moves more level to slightly upwards. Without this contrast, you're stuck trying to hit both clubs with the same swing, and that's a losing battle. So don't overlook this and skip it. A good swing starts with the right setup for the club that you're using. Nail your setup position and you'll already feel 50% more confident over the ball. All right, and point number 2, you want your iron swing to be more upright and down. Now let's talk your iron swings. Now with shorter clubs, you're standing closer to the ball. Naturally, your swing will be more upright, and that's good. You want that. You want your arms to be more vertical, your hands staying more in front of your chest, and the club coming steep enough to compress the ball. I actually did a recent video about the importance of keeping your hands in the front of your chest. I'll link that video for you above if you'd like to check it out. To make this happen, think about keeping your weight slightly forward and turning around your centered spine. You want to feel like you're going down and through the ball, not sweeping it with your irons. And by the way, comment below if you've already tried this and how's it worked for you. I'm curious to hear your feedback. It should feel like your chest stays over the ball longer and you're pinning that ball into the turf with a descending blow. Master that motion and your 7-iron becomes your best friend. And point number 3, your driver swing is more around and up. Now, here's where most golfers get it wrong. They're trying to hit a driver like an iron. Your driver setup naturally creates a flatter angle. So your swing needs to work more around your body. Think of a baseball swing, for example. You want your arms to feel like they're working around your rib cage, not lifting them up. Your backswing should have width, which comes from keeping your left arm straight on the way back. And on the downswing, you want the club coming from underneath, traveling low and shallow through the ball, and you want to be hitting up through contact. This shallower path produces more speed, less spin, and more distance. So the next time you hit driver, forget the steep iron swing. Rotate more, feel wider, and let the club swing around your body, like you're skipping a stone across a lake. You'll be amazed at how easy it feels. And point number 4, there's a secret blend, your setup and your swing match. The magic really happens when your setup and your swing match the club in your hand. Think of it this way. Your upright setup equals a vertical swing, and that suits well for your irons. And a tilted spine and around the body swing, that's going to lend itself well to a driver swing. But when you mismatch, for example, trying to hit a vertical swing with a driver, that's where it falls apart. Top shot, slices, you name it. So every time you address the ball, ask yourself, am I setting up and swinging in a way that matches the club design? When you start doing that instinctively, you'll feel like you've unlocked a cheat code. So if you want to make your irons and your driver both feel really easy, you've got to treat them like the tools that they are. That means building the correct setup for each and matching your swing plane for each club. Get this right and your ball striking will feel automatic. You'll gain confidence, distance, and consistency across your whole bag. And as a reminder, be sure to grab my golf swing setup checklist down in the description below. It's totally free if you want more information on a perfect setup. Now, let's talk about some tips that you can use inside of 100 yards.
I'm gonna talk to you today about shots inside of 100 yards. So although you can't see the green, I've actually got about 65 yards to my pin. And one of the tips that I want to give you today is to keep your head steady and level throughout your swing. Now that's hard to do, but it's absolutely essential. Why it's essential is because dropping your head is actually going to fluctuate the distance that the size of your divot and the distance and how deep it is in the ground. So when you're practicing, make sure that you're conscious and you're thinking about where the level of your head is. If your head dips on the way down and it drops on the way down, what that's going to do is it's going to actually bring your club more in the ground, and your divots are going to be deeper, and it's ultimately going to result in you hitting fat shots. So if you keep your head steady all the way through the swing, it's going to allow you to make more consistent and better ball contact. So A drill that really helps me when I'm practicing is to just really focus on and really be conscious of when I'm swinging where my head's at. It's almost like I'm trying to keep my chin up so that my head doesn't drop throughout the swing. So next time you're on the golf course or you're practicing, really think about where your head is and if it's dropping or staying level. You're gonna really notice better and more consistent ball contact when you do this drill properly. In order to check to make sure that you did do it properly, what you can do is you can look at your divot. If your divot is thick and muddy, more than likely you're dropping your head and your center of gravity is coming down a little bit. If you don't really have much of a divot at all and you just skim the grass, perfect. I'm gonna do one more for you here. Watch my head and how level it stays. It doesn't drop. And there I am on the green. So try that out. I guarantee it's gonna help you guys out.
As you get around the greens, one thing that becomes really important is ball position. So let's talk about that next.
Well, today I want to talk to you about ball position when you're around the green. So I'm about 2 or 3 feet off the green right here, as you're gonna see. And I've just got about a 15, 20 yard little pitch shot, and I've got a 9-iron in my hand. And what I wanna bring to your attention is that when you're around the greens, you want to really have the ball position a little bit differently than you would if you were to hit a little bit longer shot or a full swing. So when I'm around the greens, what I like to do is if I'm gonna hit a pitch shot, typically, a full swing would be in the middle of my stance with a 9-iron. But when I'm around the greens, I want to, first of all, take my feet and I'm gonna put them as close together as possible so that they're basically touching. They are touching. And I'm gonna put the majority of my weight on my left foot, which is closest to the green. Now, what that's gonna help me do is really give me a foundation to work off of and really take away any of the other variables that I would have to think about during my swing if I were to have my weight evenly dispersed upon my feet. So when you're around the greens, make sure that you get your weight on your left side, and then you're gonna play the ball off the back foot. And why that's important to play it off the back foot is because when you're around the greens, you want to make sure that you hit the ball first, and then you're going to be hitting the ground afterwards. So as you're going to see, I'm going to take my feet and point them just a little bit left, if you will. So they're just a little bit left of my ball position here, and they're really about 45 degrees left. Once I've set that up and I've got my weight on my left, I'm going to take the ball and I'm going to put it just off my, really kind of like my pinky, my last toe, if you will, my pinky toe, and I'm going to put it in the back of my stance so that if I were to draw a line, it would come right off the back of my foot right there. Once you've done that, you're really set up to go. I've put together some other videos as to what your hands should look like and where they should be when you're hitting a chip shot around the green. But if you're looking to see where the ball position should be when you're around the greens, make sure that you play it off your back foot. It's really going to help you be more consistent, give you more control, and really help you make your short game better. Try that out. I guarantee it's going to help you out. So what you always want to make sure that you do is that you want to be accelerating faster through the ball than you took the club back. So when you're practicing, make sure that you're always going a little bit shorter, if you will, on the way back and really accelerating through. That's going to help prevent fat shots and inaccurate shots. Try that out. Make sure that when you go back that you're going through faster than you were when you took it back.
Hey there, if you've liked the content that you watched today, I want to invite you to come check out my online golf academy. I'll leave a link in the description box below. Inside the academy, you'll have access to a private community of other like-minded golfers looking to improve their game, as well as step-by-step instructional content and much, much more. All of it was designed to help you improve your game and become more consistent. We'll see you inside, and thanks for watching.